Okay, Brit. Thanks for coming back.
And by the way,
man.
just for the record,
excited. Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And I thank you for coming on. I think this is exciting. I think it's cool what you're doing. It's definitely a new take on an event, something we've never seen. So I'm excited to hear your take on it. So just to kick this off, like we're calling this vintage Durango or vintage Festivus. Is that what the name is?
Yeah, it's the Durango Vintage Festivus. It's for the rest of us, man.
Okay,
it's for people that didn't. Okay. Well, essentially I had a friend of mine came, and I told you I was building this 12,000 square foot sort of Taj Mahal vintage paradise place to house all my collections, because essentially the way it is for me, and maybe you have the same problem, but as soon as you build a place or move into a new space, you fill it up so much, you already got to start working on your next space to fill up. I don't know what it is, but you're in Vancouver, so you have people actually coming to shop at your place. I don't really have anybody that comes out here. I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere, man. So for me, it's not like I'm moving a lot of product out the door. It's more of like a hoarding situation where more shit comes in. Like for every 100 things I get, I sell like 2 things. So my friend was here, Poots, and we were at my new warehouse, which is about to be built, except the costs have gone from $450,000 to over $800,000. And by the time we're done, it's going to be over $1 million. So I'm like, holy shit, not only is this costing me a fortune, but also I have so much stuff. I don't even think it's going to fit in this place once it's done. So I said, hey, I should have a big party and sell a bunch of stuff and invite everybody to come and have like a grand opening party and sell everything cheap or have a bulk sale. And Poots is like, well, shit, man, can I set up and sell some stuff there? And I said, sure. And then some of my other friends that I invited to come were like, hey, can I come set up and sell some stuff? And I said, sure. And then it got kind of out of control. And then the next thing you know, I've got like 50 people that want to come and sell. And I'm like, it was very stressful. To be honest with you, I got drunk for like 3 days. Like I couldn't handle the stress. So I called up this friend of mine who owns this concert venue in a party festival place where they have bungee jumping and zip lines and river rafting. They've got a world famous Frisbee golf course. I just ran into the national championships were there. I mean, place is unbelievable. I called him up and I said, hey, could I move my thing, my grand opening party, and move it to your place? And he said, of course, I'd love to do that. And so we got some bands to play, and it's going to be kind of like a denim Woodstock is what we're calling it. And the best part about it is that we didn't have a name. He said, what's the name? And my friend's like, I don't know. How about a Festivus for the rest of us? I'm like, all right, that sounds fantastic. So it wasn't like we put a lot of name into. We didn't put a lot of name. We didn't put a lot of name into the thought, or a lot of thought into the name. It just sort of happened.
I love it.
Nice beard, by the way. How long?
This is just pretty young. But yeah, Festivus for the rest of us, meaning that this is an event. I've heard you say it before too. Like a lot of events can be very pretentious, can be too like Hollywood, can be too this or that. This is like for the people out there on this event space that's like camping and adventure, and like it looks super cool. I actually checked out their website. That place looks fucking rad. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And like for people that are listening to this, Festivus is, I just looked it up. Everyone knows Festivus from Seinfeld, which is, Festivus for the rest of us. It's an alternative to Hanukkah and Christmas, an alternative to consumerism festivals. It's super weird. And they would air their grievances. It was a festival where you get together, you get to air your grievances to your friends and family. So I'll be airing my grievances at your event there, Britt.
Wait. But also, can I just go on that one thing?
Feats of strength.
Feats of strength. Yes. I didn't. So this is amazing. You're telling me I don't even know any of that. I have no idea. I just like George Costanza's dad is like my favorite TV character of all time, Frank Costanza, where he's just like, when he stops short and he grabs the girl's chest and she's like, oh, you stopped short on me. You stopped short on me. Because he's on a date and he would brake really hard and then grab the girl's chest. The guy's ridiculous, right? And he goes and he's like, can't stand ya. Yeah. But I love the feats of strength thing, and that's what I was kind of going to do anyway with the Denim Olympics. But I had no idea until you mentioned it that's a Festivus is feats of strength. It is. That's crazy. And then the other thing you mentioned a second ago. You mentioned the reconciliation, the grievances thing. That's so funny because I'm not going to mention names, but I have a big mouth, so I'll probably mention names anyway. But it's kind of like the Tupac and Biggie, the West Coast, East Coast vintage thing. And I think you probably know the people I'm talking about, but they've hated each other for like 30 years. And I was going to get them up on stage and I was going to auction a hug. So for charity, like for some kids with like, hair lips or something. And we would auction a hug where it'd be like, if I'm not going to name their names, but let's just say, Joe and Bob. So Joe and Bob are known to hate each other for 30 years. They've had a grievance they've probably forgotten what the grievance was because there's a lot of grievances in the vintage business, right? And so I was going to get them up on stage and I wasn't going to tell them what they were going to be doing. And then I was going to have all the auction and the live auctioneer was going to go, hey, get $10, $10. Who wants to see the hug between these guys for $20, $20? And you and me and other people how much money would you pay? And if you know the guys I'm talking about, I think you would probably, just like me, bid really high to see a hug between those guys. You know what I'm saying?
I'll throw some money at it. I'll throw some money for a good cause.
Yeah.
Good laugh.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure. So I think the name is fitting. It's randomly ironic and awkward and it just happened, but it is fitting. And I think it fits this. So like you said, this is going to be like a Woodstock. This is like a festival. This is a 3-day event. I want to go over the schedule with you. So it seems like your whole, like you said, it happened organically. Your buddy wanted to come sell. You guys then created this event. You found the space. Give us the lowdown of like how it came to be of all these different events. Cause this is it's very ambitious of a undertaking, in my opinion. So give us the lowdown.
Okay, this is the schedule, in case you were wondering what this piece of paper was. Well, Drew, I I have something I say where I say it's like a quote I have that I say keep in mind the whole time we're talking, I have random music really loud in my headphones, and I don't know where it's coming from, man. But anyway, so it's hard to answer your questions with this music. But I have a quote that is this: most people never act on the best ideas they ever have. So like God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, the power of the world will give you inspiration, and they'll give everybody inspiration. It's out there for anybody to grab. And most people will never do anything with it. They'll have some awesome thought, and then they'll be like, wow, that's an interesting thing. Maybe I can make some money to do that. And then they won't do it. They'll go back to their job, or they'll turn Seinfeld back on, ironically. So my idea with the Festivus is like pretty much whatever I could come up with. I'm like, let's try it out. It's the first year. If it fails, it fails. I'm not afraid to fail in anything I've ever done. And, I think that's why I've been successful, frankly, and so maybe it'll be like something where it'll go viral. And I mean, there's so many different events going on at this thing that any one of them could become the viral one that everyone's talking about. I mean, like the auction, for instance, the auction's going to be absolutely insane. It's going on Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. And there's about 40 items per night. And the items are unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. We have 3 pairs. We have 2 1890s denim Levi's. We also have an 1880 canvas Levi's that's being auctioned. So these are the oldest Levi's that have ever been auctioned at a live auction ever. Like when have you ever gone to a live auction and seen a pair of Levi's auction? Doesn't happen. 1800s ones. Then we have 5 or 6 pre-30s jeans like that. There's probably like a total of 30 pairs of pre-1930s jeans, and 10 of them are Levi's. So right there,
So
that makes for a pretty exciting thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see it. How does the auction work? Because you can bid remotely and in person. Is that correct?
That's correct. I just got off the phone with my rep from HighBid, where we had a very interesting conversation about exactly this, because I was trying to upload it all today so that as of today, people could actually get on to HighBid and bid, except there's a few more process steps I have to do. So they won't be able to look at the stuff online until probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, which still gives people 2.5, 3 weeks to look at the items online for the online bidders all over the world. Now, if I was looking to buy a $50,000 pair of Levi's and I was in Italy, right? I wouldn't just want to see those pictures. I would fly over from Italy and want to see those jeans with my own hands and be at the actual live auction. So there may be people that show up to the Festivus last minute because they, you're a vintage guy. You and I both know holding something in our hands is everything, right? Sometimes things in a picture, they look way better in the picture, and sometimes they look way worse. I mean, you just never know until you get it in your hands. And also, it's hard to fall in love in a picture. I fall in love with all the stuff I buy, and I've bought a lot of really high-end vintage. I fall in love with it. And in a picture, you don't fall in love with a picture. You fall in love with it when you're holding it in your hands and you say to yourself, I want to take this home,
Yeah. So and it's a huge investment. If someone's going to spend that money, they want to be there. They want to make sure this is legit. They want to see it. They want to feel it. They want to check all the details.
Yeah.
And so you're hoping that this auction site will drive a lot of people to actually come and check the event.
Absolutely.
Which I think is probably accurate. Yeah.
I think it is.
So,
now we keep in mind, this is my. So I just want to tell you. So this is one of my catalogs I used to do. You might have seen these, and this is what I used to do every year for my movie clients and stuff. And I would make really nice photography of pieces that were found in mines and stuff that were available for rent. It's my rental catalog. So for this auction, we're making an even better catalog that we believe that the auction catalog itself will become an instant collector item that everyone's going to want to have. And let's say that you go to the auction and you fall in love with this pair of jeans at the auction. Well, or this overalls, for instance, which these ones aren't in the auction, actually. These ones they're right there. But you're going to want to buy like 20 of these catalogs while you're at the auction, because your item is a cover girl kind of a thing on the, and so I think there builds value in the items by having them in the catalog too. And what's really cool is I let all the vendors that are coming, we have about 60 vendors, I think, I let them all put their items in the auction. So it was like Christmas around here. I was getting all these boxes in the mail before the photographer got here. And so for a lot of these people, they're younger, they're kids, they've been in the business a few years and stuff like that. For them, a lot of them never even been to a live auction, but now they get to go to a live auction and stand there having a cocktail while their item gets auctioned off. So I think it's going to be really cool. And also, I'm a very historical type of old school guy. I grew up working on a ranch. Like I pay a lot of attention to history. I've given a lot of things I found away to museums. There's a whole part of me that people don't know about. But point is this: auctions are very like romantic in my view. It's something that's, especially with COVID, who the hell goes to like live auctions anymore? So I kind of love the idea of bringing back the idea of a live auction, And that's just one of our events. That might not even be the event that goes viral,
I'll give you my experience on that. I've been to a few live. I actually met you for the first time at a live auction, the Double Deuce or something. The one in Pasadena,
I was selling off. Was that the one I was? That's funny. I remember going to Pasadena to the Double Deuce or the Flying Deuce. It was the Flying Deuce, maybe, man, which is really funny because I became friends with Deuce Bigelow through the vintage business, and I did a show in Pasadena at Mike Hodis's place it was me and Rob Schneider, who's all in the news now. I guess he's like a super conservative or something now. But anyway, it was me and Rob Schneider showing off our vintage stuff. So it was me and Deuce Bigelow, and you're talking about the Flying Deuce Vintage, which also is in Pasadena. And it just proves all the serendipity in the world, man. It's serendipity, man.
Totally. So then my first experience actually bidding in an auction, I didn't bid in that one. I was pretty green at that point, and it was just kind of a learning experience to go and check that out. What do you got there? Praying mantis?
Well, I went to an estate sale, and I got all these lures, these vintage fishing lures. But while we're sitting here, I just have to show you this one of them. Can you see that? The naked lady one in there? It's a mermaid naked lady. It's a freaking. I mean, what kind of fish is gonna?
Not the best.
What kind of fish is gonna go after the mermaid naked lady? Man, these things smell terrible.
Big mouth bass.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I did a TV show.
The auction thing. So the first auction I bid in was in the Queen Mary. I don't know if I think that was the second Rin Tanaka event, right? They had an auction in the basement of the Queen Mary.
Oh yeah,
in that room. And
there was no communications. Nobody could pay. Nobody could pay or bid because it was in a basement and there was no cell service.
Oh yeah, I think this was before they were offering like some kind of online thing. It was all in person, and I bid on some Levi's and a jacket, like a kid set for my kid at the time. I still have it, and there is something romantic about it, like you say. It's very exciting. You get fired up. You get fucking you get a rush from being there, like the act of being live with someone. You're competing with someone in the same room. Like it's a cool experience. And I can say that firsthand from that auction. So it's a lot different it's nothing like eBay. It's nothing like an online auction. It's like being in person at an auction gives you much more of a rush than any of this other bullshit.
Yeah, 100%. And also, like a lot of people, wait, can I just say one more thing about that? A lot of these younger people that are in our business is now, dude, I was in the cowboy and Western world for a long time. And maybe you don't know that, but I'm a huge collector of boots and spurs. And I mean, look at this spurs here. This is like a $5,000 pair of spurs. Do you see that?
Wow.
That's snakes crossing. Oh, you see the fucking dust just came off this thing. This is a pair of spurs made by, it says Yuma, Arizona. And it's by a guy named Blanchard. And these are Blanchard spurs, super collectible. Anyway, I was in the cowboy world too. Like I had a foot in the vintage clothing and a foot in the cowboy collectible stuff. And you go to these cowboy deals and everybody's freaking a dinosaur, man. They're ancient. And so I thought that might happen to the vintage clothing business too. That's why I had my foot in different places. But turns out now we're the dinosaurs, dude. Right? We're the dinosaurs. And some of the older dinosaurs like Larry and Zip and Woody Brogdon and guys like that are all coming to my show. And we're going to have an Ask the Experts roundtable with these guys with free coffee with an incredible friend of mine named Justin from Mind Goods. He's coming all the way from New York City with his coffee cart to give everybody free coffee and espresso drinks on Sunday morning at the round table. And actually, would you like to be a part of our round table too?
Sure, I'll be a part of it. I don't have the knowledge like those guys do.
Oh no, sorry.
Part of it.
No, it's all filled up. I was just I just remember we don't have an extra spot at the table. Sorry. No, I'm just joking.
Oh fuck.
No, you can totally be there Sunday morning. It's going to be on the main stage, man. We're going to have a bunch of chairs and it's going to be fun. And we'll let the young guys. There's a lot of people that are killing it in this business, and they're coming to the Festivus. And these are guys that I might learn stuff from. I mean, they're like got mad techniques in the way they're finding stuff and sourcing stuff. And some of them are real creative too. And so, it'll be interesting to have this back and forth amongst the vintage generations, right? With the kind of pioneer guys like Larry, and then the 20-year-old guy 17-year-old kid I know in Denver's coming, has a t-shirt store. He's supposed to be in college, but his dad said, listen, I'll either open a business for you or pay for college. You choose. He chose the t-shirt store. I went in there the other day and it's just freaking killing it, dude. Like people just jumping up and buying like all these $500 rock shirts off the walls everywhere. It's crazy. So anyway,
it is crazy. Times have changed. So let's talk schedule. So that round table sounds super cool. Okay, we have
Sunday morning,
September 29th. This thing kicks off Thursday, September 29th, 5 to 7 p.m. So it's Thursday evening. We have a VIP reception, cocktail party, and live auction preview. So I guess everything's set up. You can check out the live auction items, kind of like get a feel for it.
Well, for that night,
you
can only look at you get to look at the auctions that are being auctioned that night. Because the cocktail party goes from 5 to 7:30 at the pavilion at Tico time. And then the auction starts at 7:30, and we're doing like 29, 30 items that night. And they're not the best of the auction stuff, but they are more affordable stuff, and some of them are really, really freaking awesome too. So
is it like?
And then
are you going like for the best stuff on the end of the auction? Is that how it's working? Like Saturday night's the best?
No, we're interspersing. We're definitely interspersing the stuff throughout the time, but all of the 1800s Levi's are going on Saturday night because we figure like that's when there'll be the most people in the seats for the live auction, and also by Saturday, people will have told their friends, and so more people will be signing up as online bidders all over the world. I mean, I got people already all over the world, begging me to get registered, but I haven't been able to upload the stuff yet because I'm still working it out with Hybid and their Auction Flex program. It's very complex. It's beyond my pay grade. So that's why it's taking me a while.
Once you get this going, once you get the site set up, you're going to be posting links like on your social media and everything about where this auction site is, right? So everyone can find it?
Yes. Great question.
Okay, great. You should send that to me so I can post it on this video. Hopefully it'll be at least
absolutely
we can get that up there. Okay, so then Friday it kicks off in the morning, 9 to 11:30. VIP bus tour to Carpe Denim Warehouse. This is now going from Tico time to your warehouse. It's like a vintage field trip.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So basically, the buses leave at 9, and every 30 minutes thereafter until 11:30, we got to be back to Tico time by noon. So I would call it more like a scouting trip. I mean, if people want to buy stuff real fast, yeah, they can. But I think it's more like, so one thing that I don't know that the younger people getting into this business will have the same perspective as guys like you and I who've been doing it forever. But success is not about short-term achievement of goals. It's about long-term thinking and long-term achievement of goals. So I'll give you a great example. There was a military warehouse I found in Utah, and I was in there and I found 5,000 mint condition fishtail parkas, dude. 5,000 of them. I sell them now for $300-$400 a piece. So if you do the math on that, that's millions of dollars. But I was stupid and I didn't think long term. This was in like 2001, and anyway, I could have had them for $1 or $2 a piece. Okay, $1 or $2 a piece. Well, Oliver found out about it in like 2012. So when I went back there in 2015, they told me and I was ready to buy them all. They had sold them to Oliver a couple years later, and I love Oliver. I have nothing bad to say about him at all. Bottom line is, I didn't think long term enough to get that inventory at that time. And you got to believe in what you're doing and stuff. Anyway, the point of the matter is what I'm getting to is that if somebody comes and looks around my warehouse, they will, put a subconscious sort of filter on what they're seeing. And then one day they might go, hey, you know what? I could use 100 M65 field jackets. And look at that. Brit has them. I wonder if he still has them. Oh, shit. You know what? He had a lot of size 36 to 40 1980s Levi's he was selling for $40 a piece. I wonder if he still has those. So it's a scouting trip for people from 9 to 11:30, 9 to 12, basically. And I think it's really cool. Tico Time has these fun buses that are very tropical looking and everything. And so, we'll bus them over there and people can get a tour. Hopefully the upstairs will be open by then, but that's only 3 weeks away now. So who knows?
So
But
the bus ride's part of the party. How long is this bus ride?
Well, I cannot disclose that, but let's say that it's not very long. It's you might get enough time to pick one nostril, but probably not both nostrils.
Okay. You're gonna be blindfolded in the party bus.
Dude, that was the opening scene of a TV show I created. That's exactly it. Where we were like, people are watching, going, "What the fuck is going on?" They see me out in the desert. I'm blindfolded, and I'm in a van, and they're going. They think they're watching a Taliban movie where a guy's about to get like killed by the freaking Taliban, but instead it's me getting taken to a secret mine location by the owner of the mine's widow, who didn't want me to know how to find the place to double back and steal the shit. That was a TV show thing I got going on. Anyway, so yeah, it's sort of like that, except, well, actually, Drew, if you want to be blindfolded, my friend, you can be blindfolded. It's a blindfold optional
I need
bus
to
ride.
know where the location is. Okay. So then we're back at Tico time by 12 to 5, which is the vintage wholesale I Love Lucy style shopping spree, by the pound shopping. So this is a separate tent or area that's going to have literally by the pound, lots of shit to grab. And what's going to be the starting by the pound price? Because you didn't put that on the schedule. You wrote that it goes down over time.
You're right.
What's the starting price?
Yes. Well,
you have to wait and see how
right
the
now
pound is. You got to see how many people.
So I've been a Bob Marley fan. I've been a Bob Marley fan my whole life. Okay, I was gonna get the Rasta lion tattoo on my shoulder and everything, and now it's Rat Race. So it's very hard to concentrate when then Rat Race is playing in my head. But this bulk shopping will actually be like a rat race, right? It'll be so the auctioneer this is what we're thinking. The auctioneer. So first of all, there's going to be a pile of at least 10,000 pounds of vintage. There'll be double X's and red lines and 1920s sweaters and like probably 500 1940s and 30s house dresses and 1,000 military items. I mean, the shit that listen, if anybody's watching, they can tell I'm going a little crazy. Have you noticed I'm a little crazier than normal? I've always been kind of crazy, but are you noticing that? This thing's driving me kind of crazy. So as I'm going more crazy, I'm putting more stuff that I would never logically sell in a bulk situation. I'm putting more and more of it into the pile because I'm just like, fuck it, I'm putting it in the pile. Fuck it, I'm putting it in the pile. So I might even get in the pile and pay for stuff in my own stuff, man. I mean, it's going to be amazing. So, but the auctioneer is going to be like, okay, there is and by the way, the pile is now so big that we can't do it in one of the 2 giant tents we already booked. So I have 2 massive wedding tents I've already paid $10,000 for to house the vendors. But now all the vendors signed up and more people have signed up to vend at the last minute. And so I don't have any room now for the bulk deal in these places. So I had to get a third giant tent just for the bulk sale. Okay. So it's going to be like this. There's going to be like a ring around the tent with like caution tape. And you'll see inside the tent this fucking pile that's going to be the biggest freaking amazing vintage pile anyone has ever seen. That is a personal Brit Eaton guarantee. I want people to. So the idea is this: these people that pay money for by the pound, then we're going to do an exit interview with them, and they're going to be like, "Holy shit! Look what I found! Holy shit!" Then if we ever do a Festivus again, every one of those people that goes on social media that shows the freaking double X's they found or whatever, and not everyone's going to find them. There's only going to be probably 10 of them in the whole deal, but they're just fucking Levi's 50s, 40s and 50s Levi's. Anyway, so the auctioneer gets out there and he goes. So he goes.
That was unclear. You're saying that you're going to auction off the price. So how are you going to determine the price on that first day?
That's what I'm getting to. So the auctioneer gets there and he's going to have his PA set up and he's going to be like, $100. Who'll give me $100 for 10 minutes, $100 for 10 minutes. And he's going to auction off for one price that you get. Whoever gets the high bid gets 10 minutes to get as much shit out of that pile as they can in 10 minutes. That's going to be the first auction. So it's just like in I Love Lucy. So we'll have a freaking big clock and a timer, and we're going to have a bullhorn that's going to go. And then let's say that you're the high bidder for $350, right? That means, Drew, that you get 10 minutes for $350. You get as much stuff as you can get dragged out of that pile. And then we're going to have like a line that you got to get it past, like, outside the tent, but, not terribly far, but definitely it's not going to be like you just pull the pile over and that's yours. You know what I mean? It's going to be like another caution tape. You got to get your shit over. But if anybody else wants to get into that same deal, so let's say that you and I are bidders and you bid up to 350 and then the auction goes, okay, the high bid is 350. Does anybody else want to get in at that same rate? So maybe there's 5 guys that say, fuck it, I'll do that for 10 minutes. And those 5 people, and girls, by the way, or he, she, theys, whatever, I don't give a shit. We're open to everybody here at the Festivus. Yeah, they jump on in there and they dig out stuff and, and then we do the auction again. Okay, now maybe it's the same people go for another 10 minutes. Or maybe the bidding gets down to $150 and then 10 people jump in for 150. So that's going to go on for probably about an hour. And then after that, it's going to be like, okay, it's $20 a pound for the next hour. And then you have time to go look for stuff for an hour. So that's more of like okay. You're not like frantically getting like a bunch of holy fucking jeans. Yeah.
Very interesting concept for this sale. So I'm excited to see where this goes because I can tell you right now, the first people in that pile are going to want to pay a lot of money because they think they're going to score, and they may very, very well score big time.
But they're not the strategy. It's all about strategy. If I'm that guy, I'm not going, I'm going to go look for a pearl amongst this whole fucking billion fucking oysters. I'm just grabbing all the fucking oysters. I can always throw the shit back in the pile later on in the day after I've sorted my oysters. You see what I mean? So it's all about strategy, man. Hey, by the way, have you ever gone to the Rose Bowl? Have you ever gone to the Rose Bowl and bought something at like 6 a.m. and then flipped it for double or triple your money by like 9 a.m.?
Yeah, all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So I used to do that with you, man. I used to buy stuff from you. You never bought shit from me, by the way. Anyway, I used to buy from you, and then I'd double it back at my booth an hour later.
Your price for double, triple. Yeah, for sure you did.
Anyway, my prices.
You were one of the first guys on my first time at Rose Bowl when I came out with insane amounts of great shit, and I had no idea. Yeah. I mean, I had a relative idea, but my pricing was so far off. I sold shit to you. I sold shit to Mike, RIP, and I sold shit to Larry that day. I sold shit to like probably freaking. I sold shit to everybody who definitely sold it for more that same day. But I was fucking stoked anyway because I made like 10 grand that day.
I was actually joking. I honestly, I'm not joking. I did used to buy stuff and then make my money back and then some on the same day many times. I don't remember particularly doing that from you, to be honest. But and by the way, rest in peace, Mike Manpearl, if that's who you're talking about. I wish he could come to this thing. He was an awesome guy. I used to throw the football around with him all the time at Rose Bowl when things were slow. He loved throwing footballs and frisbees and shit. And on that same deal, the whole point is this. If I could go to the Rose Bowl with no inventory and $1,000 in my pocket, right? And the guy at the gate would be like, how come you don't have any inventory? I go, don't worry about it, dude. It's my business. And then I could go spend my grand and make $3,000 and walk out with no inventory again. That's the kind of a situation that was. And that's what I'm saying about my event. Somebody could come with just some money and they could go in that bulk sale and get a giant pile of clothing and then throw it in their freaking booth the next day and make a profit. And then use that profit at the auction to buy something that's too expensive. And then they go home with something really expensive that they didn't wish they didn't buy. And they get a free coffee on Sunday morning at the round table.
Oh, man, that's amazing. Okay, so let's move on to Denim Olympics.
Move on.
You have 2
Denim
to 5 on Friday is the Denim Olympics. So that's all you wrote. So you got to explain this one.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The Denim Olympics is sort of a work in progress. There's about 50 different events that are in my head of things I want to do. I figure that the 12 o'clock, there's going to be several really exciting times at this Festivus, right? I think the first gavel at the first auction Thursday is going to be an exciting time. I think the auctioning of the bulk thing is going to be exciting. I think that I think the Saturday night auction is going to be ridiculous when these Levi's go, and I think the 7 a.m. VIP shoppers at the main event is going to be fucking awesome too. But another thing that's going to be awesome is the Denim Olympics, because by 2 o'clock or so, the excitement of the bulk thing will have kind of ebbed, and now there's, let's say, 20 people that are picking through the pile, you know, paying 20, 25 bucks a pound or what have you. And then some of the other people are going to come over and mosey over with me, and we're going to do this Denim Olympics, which is the thing that I think could go viral more than anything. Some of the ideas, and again, I can't say for sure what we're going to do, but they have zip lining, bungee jumping, disc golf, river rafting. They have a giant water slide. I mean, we could do a contest where the guy who slides off the water slide and does the best jump gets a pair of red lines or something. Or people bungee off the freaking high tower down to a net below, and there's vintage jeans in the freaking net that they got to freaking grab as they're trying to go back up on their bungee jumping. Getting sweaty during this interview. I mean, the zip lining. You're zip lining along, and I'm going to shoot jeans out of a fucking cannon at you, like out of a potato gun, and you're going to have to catch like red lines, and if you don't catch them, you don't get them. We're going to have tube races where there's one bridge like a quarter mile up the river, and you can see it from the lower down the river bridge. And we're going to have tube races where guys and girls are going to get in there and race down in their tubes, and all the other rest of us will be on the bridge like cheering for our heroes. Another idea is to put a bunch of tubes upstream and have them have cardboard boxes in each tube, and then like numbers on the tube or on the box, and one box will have like a buckle back in it and all the rest won't. And people will bid on the numbers, you know, that they wanted the box, and the winning bidder gets the box, and then he runs down the river and gets it, and there's nothing in it. And then the next guy gets the buckle back, or maybe nobody gets that because nobody bid on that one.
It should just
we're
be
gonna have a scavenger hunt
where you get to you have to like pay to be in the race, and then everybody has to like 3, 2, 1 go, and there's floating boxes on the river, and you just have to swim out, and whoever gets the box wins.
I mean, this is I literally have it on my schedule for today to refine all the crazy shit that's in my head and make it like 10 events or 5 events. Oh, one thing we're definitely doing is we're having a tug of war with a rope made out of jeans. So I'm tying like 50 Levi's together in a rope, and then teams will try to pull it. And the tug of war might actually be done on paddle boards or tubes in the pond that's there, which would be fucking awesome. And then another thing that's definitely happening is a scavenger hunt. And the scavenger hunt's more of like the last thing of the day. And that's going to be like a 15 clues where you run and get a clue, and there'll be a pair of buckleback jeans for the prize or something, you know?
Nice.
So we got a lot of Denim Olympics stuff going on.
Sounds pretty epic. Sounds like a good time. I'm definitely going to be partaking in that. So after that, we have it sounds like every night we're getting some live music. We got the live auction again on the Friday night from 5:30 p.m. After that,
and the items ramp up. The items ramp up every night.
Okay, wicked. And then 8:30 till I guess about 10:30, we got drinks and live music. Right? You got some bands, Carson Deersing and Lou Shields, on the Friday. Yeah,
they're both vintage dealers. One of them is Driftless Artifacts from Wisconsin. Carson is I think he's Stay Tuned Vintage Clothing, and he's out of Indiana, I believe. Both of them have been musicians forever. Lou, I know, is a big skater as well, so he knows the skating community guys. But in addition to all that, they've played together. Turns out they've played together at festivals before. So we're hoping that they do like Carson will do a set first, and then they'll merge for a set, and then Lou will do a set after. So that's going to be super fun.
Amazing.
And I'll try to get the fire dancers. For that too. Tico time, literally, I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Tico time has live-in, on-site fire dancers. They have girls that actually live there and come out for events and dance around in like leotards with fire and climb rope and do flips and all sorts of crazy shit. It is unfreaking believable, man. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
The place is called Tico Time. It's kind of oddly fitting because I know you go to Costa Rica a lot. And like the whole concept of this Tico Time place is like Costa Rica, like adventure, right?
Man, you have no idea, man. You have no idea. When I was in high school, they called me the weed van. I then moved in the middle of freaking absolutely nowhere in Colorado. And like the first dispensary in the state came in across the street from my house because it was one of the first places as you enter the state. So out-of-staters could come and get weed there. Think about that.
Wow.
You know, I love live music. I've now seen 3 bands very close to my house, like walking distance, that are Grammy-winning bands that I saw in my youth when I traveled around going to music shows and stuff. And now they're playing at my house. I mean, it's just crazy. Freaking crazy. So, yeah, but I've only been in Costa Rica once, actually, but I've been to a lot of other places.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I was confused there, but still, this Tico Time thing sounds amazing. I've been there a bunch of times. Let's talk Saturday. We got 7 a.m. is the vendor, 7 to 9 is vendor setup, 9 to 4 is the show. So this is where all the vendors are going to be selling, everybody who's paid for a booth. So Saturday is kind of like the main, well, I guess all the days, but Saturday seems like the main show day where you can just
Saturday's the main show day. However, there are pop-up vendors that are going to be popping up at will Friday to Sunday. Guys that are coming down from Denver with their sleeping bag and a tent and a bunch of cool vintage clothing, you know. And then there's also Tent B, which is an open air tent. It's got a roof on it but no walls. The vendors of Tent B are going to be popping up whenever they want to, and there'll be food trucks and stuff all throughout the weekend as well. So Saturday is when the main event tent was sort of the more, let's say, hoity-toity guys like Larry and Zip, and actually Zip's not. I shouldn't have mentioned him. He's coming, but he's not vending. But you know, guys like that are going to be setting up, you know, to sell like high-end, crazy collection pieces. You know.
Yeah, we got.
I might auction some military bales in the middle of it on Saturday too.
Nice. So these bales, because I
forgot to mention, I'm going to auction some military bales too. That's right. Yeah. They're old bales that I bought, that I've never unveiled. Long time ago.
Yeah.
They were ones I found in the back of businesses. I've bought out a bunch of, well, you wouldn't necessarily know that. I might have 10 bale machines for all you know. But anyway, actually, I bought my first bale. My first bale in 1997. Seriously, I bought my first bale of Levi's in 1997. That's how I got started in the business. But yeah, so I have these military bales that I'm just going to auction like unsorted. Like you won't even know what's in them. You just pay and we'll get the live auctioneer to sell a bale, you know? Or maybe I'll break open one and do a bulk sale on that too. Or what if after like the first 30 minutes go by, I break open a military bale, throw it on top of the pile, and then re-auction the 10-minute I Love Lucy thing.
So basically what I'm
anything's possible, man.
Is that anything is fucking possible. This is a fucking free for all. You never know. You gotta have your eyes, you gotta have your eyes open the whole weekend because you need to, you gotta see what's going on because Brit might just pop off a random bale popping or an auction at any point.
Yeah.
Or
I might, yeah.
Somebody might pop up and have some crazy rare thing that you've never seen before and you need to have, like, it's going to be a party. You got to be ready to buy.
We're going to have the security. All the security guys are going to be dressed like Wyatt Earp, man. They're going to be wearing like 1800 stuff. And the women security people will be in big flowing, frilly 1800s dresses. And they're going to have sheriff badges and they're going to have fake guns and the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be like a cowboy security situation. That way, if you need security, you just look for the guy that's in the freaking 1800s freaking top hat and you go, hey man, sheriff over here, please. I need a sheriff over here. And actually I'm flying my friend who's 6'6" up.
Because a bunch of the vintage dealers will probably look like the security. So you're just going to be like going to random people.
I know. I should have a thing where you get like $25. You get a free VIP pass if you find a damsel in distress or something and you help them. You get a free VIP pass. Like if somebody confuses you with security, you know? Anyway,
so
that's another thing.
Here.
So the VIP passes. Wait, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
There, if you go to the link that's on my Instagrams at Original Indiana Jeans, at Durango Vintage Festivus, all of those Instagrams have links to Tico Time that take you right to the event page, and then you could buy tickets there. And if you put in the code denim, DENIM, capitalized, it's still good for 20% off. But that will be going away sometime. It'll go poof. I don't know when, but it's good right now. So TicoTimeResort.com events. TicoTimeResort.com
is that
events,
where people get accommodation to? Everybody books. So is there still accommodation available there? So Tico Time is an RV park and camping place. There's a couple cabins, and I don't know if they're still available, but they do have some cabins. They're probably rented. Probably the RVs are gone too. But a lot of people are camping. There's also lodging in Aztec, New Mexico, Farmington, New Mexico, and Durango, Colorado, which are all within 30 minutes of the venue. But if you buy like a pass for the whole weekend, it includes camping. So I think it's $75, and then 20% off that. So it's like $50, I think, to get a pass for the whole festival and camping, and the resort too. I mean, they got paddle boards, they got tubing, they got like bungee jumping, zip lining, all this stuff, and it's in the resort situation. And I mean, it's like a phenomenal deal is what it is. I mean, what did you pay for Inspiration? $2,000, $3,000 for your ticket to get a space at Inspiration? Yeah. It cost me $3,000. My events, like the most anybody's paying is like, I think $350 for like a double space or something, you know? And the average person paid $200 for a vendor space, you know? And for the people going there, do you still
it's a great deal
vendors?
too.
You still have vendor spaces available?
Yeah, well, if they're pop-up vendors, absolutely. Because pop-up vendors that bring their own tent, they could pop up anywhere. Like if I was a young gun, I might pop up right at the entrance of Tico Time, you know, right by where the weed store is, you know, and get all the people coming out with their freaking flower, man. I mean, I'd be popping up here one day and I'd pop up over there, and people, I'd become the Where's Waldo of the vintage pop-up community if I was a pop-up guy. I'd be popping up everywhere. So, but also, this is very important. There are, I think, 3 spaces left in the main event tent that if anybody gets a hold of me right away, they can have it. The reason that they're available is because I saved them for people for the last minute, so I could kind of, you know, have a couple spaces in case somebody I really wanted to come to the show wanted to come in. And then the other thing that's really important about the pop-up thing is to know is that oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say something about the pop-up thing, but they're going to be popping up here and there, you know?
Okay. So Saturday we have live auction again.
Whoa. We missed the best thing. That's when the big gun, that's when all the expensive, that's when the 3 pairs of 1800s Levi's are going to sell Saturday night.
Okay. So Saturday night, 5 p.m. Then 9 p.m. we got live music again. This time it's High Country Hustle.
Dude, they're awesome. That's all I can tell you. I got to tell you, you can't just skip over High Country Hustle. It's $1.
Okay. Talk about High Country Hustle.
Yeah, and actually it went to $5 on Saturday. So the bulk sale went to $5 on Saturday, and then it becomes $1 on Sunday. So let's say all you got in your wallet is $100 and you're piss poor, right? Well, you show up to my Festivus on Sunday, and at 9 a.m. you get to buy clothing for $1 a pound. It costs you $25 for your ticket to get into the festival, and you get a free coffee because we got free coffee on Sunday morning. Compliments of the Durango Vintage Festivus and Mine Goods during the complimentary coffee thing. So basically, for $100, you end up with 75 pounds of vintage clothing and a free coffee, and you get to learn something from the experts all at the same time. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you skipped over High Country Hustle.
Like a great deal.
And, dude, High Country Hustle is like the greatest band ever. Trust me, Drew. High Country Hustle. High Country Hustle are unfreaking believable. The first time I saw them play, it was actually at Tico Time, and they start playing, and I'm like, what is this music? And I'm like, I'm just absolutely blown away. And they got the fire dancers going on, and this absolutely beautiful, magical music is playing. and the cottonwood trees are blowing around, and they've got this light show going on the freaking giant cliffs. So you feel like you're in Egypt or something because there's these big, huge stone cliffs there at Tico time. And you're just like, it's like the most magical thing you're ever going to see in your life, man. So you got to see High Country Hustle Saturday night.
Dude.
And by the way, you get into High Country Hustle for free with your admission ticket for Saturday. It's only $25 to get into the thing as a shopper on Saturday, and you get to get the resort pass, and you get to see a band that would normally cost you $50. So it's like you're getting the band for free. Crazy.
So basically, if you can make the trip, if you want to have a good time, if you want to buy some vintage, if you want to party with Brit, if you want to jump off the bungee at Tico time, you better frickin' get organized and get down to the Durango Vintage Festivus, because there is no other event like it. It's a Festivus for the rest of us. Okay, Britt, we got to end it there. Thanks for hopping on with me. I appreciate it. I'm excited for this event. I wish you the best in making this thing come to fruition exactly how you want it. And I'm excited to see it pan out here, man.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate all your help.